Alright, hey y'all, what is up, and welcome back to my channel for another part of our Sims 3 to Sims 4 series, where I am recreating the Sims 3 families and their houses in the Sims 4. I don't even know why do I always try to even say that, because when I say it, it doesn't make sense. It comes out weird and then I get confused. But anyways, by now I'm sure you guys have caught on to what we're doing with this series. So today we are recreating Miss Crumplebottom, aka Agnes Crumplebottom, which many of us know she's pretty iconic in The Sims. Really sad I have yet to see her in The Sims 4. Recently with Get Famous, they've been, throwing in some throwback iconic Sims for us, so I'd love to see her make a comeback in one of the towns that we get in a future expansion or something, because she's just iconic. So for those of you who are not familiar with Agnes Crumplebottom, I'm going to be taking you all the way through her little life stages. So obviously we're going to start in The Sims 3, where she's young and unfortunate. She lives in Sunset Valley in a very modern house that was probably the most complicated house for me to build so far, next to the goth house. But anyways, her young husband Eric Darling is deceased, and Agnes bears some resemblance to a World War II widow. She has blonde hair cut into Betty bangs, or beady bangs, however you say that, and her outfit is a short trench dress and Oxford shoes that sport stiletto heels, which matches the trends of the 1940s. So she is best friends with her sister Cornelia Goth, despite the fact that she barely knows Cornelia's husband Gunther or her son Mortimer. She is much younger than her sister, so she is a young adult. They have a difference of 20 days in The Sims 3. While Cornelia is an adult nearing an elderhood, Agnes is a young adult nearing her adulthood. So Agnes's bio states that she married Eric, but didn't take his last name because he drowned on their honeymoon. His death left her bitter and lonely, though some players like to resurrect Eric with ambrosia or the Oh My Ghost opportunity, and since his ghost haunts their house, he scares away any possible suitors for Agnes. There is a partially furnished nursery in her house, which includes a crib, a teddy bear, and a giraffe picture, possibly because she and Eric were planning to have a baby, which is really sad. So, yeah, I'm starting to build her house now, and as you'll see, I struggled a little bit, but it turned out really nice. It's just a really big house, okay? It's a big house. It's got 2 bedrooms that are just huge, right? They're just huge. Like, this house could have probably about 4, well, depending on, okay, the floor plan's kind of jacked up, but you might could fit 3 or possibly 4. They might be a little bit smaller, but anyways, I kept it as true to The Sims 3 as I could, gave it a little makeover, and honestly, I never really played with Agnes in The Sims 3, which her story is really, really cool. Honestly, I just think it was her house that turned me off, because it's really nice on the outside, but on the inside, it was just ugly. It was just, I didn't like it. I just didn't feel homey to me, and it had like this mixture of modern and like Victorian style, which I didn't really go for that, really. I kind of went with the Get Famous, all the new Get Famous fancy furniture. I just see her being a little bit glamorous, while she is bitter and she is single. I wanted to give her a confidence boost. So hopefully I did that. I think she looked stunning, and I think her house is really nice. As you'll see, I did add her husband, or her late husband's, grave to the front yard. And honestly, I thought, because I wasn't very knowledgeable on the whole story, I didn't know about sim.fandom.com/wiki where you can find out all about their biography and all their theories and everything. And I don't know if it was something I heard through the grapevine or just something that I thought of myself. I don't know. I was under the impression that people thought that she had killed Eric on their honeymoon and that she had only married him for money, but I do not think that's true at all, because you can see the screenshots of her mourning him, and she's very bitter and she's very lonely. So I mean, obviously her husband's ghost haunts the house and the lot, so any suitors that are interested in Agnes probably gonna be a little creeped out by that. And I just see her having a really hard time letting go of this heartbreak. And she had planned to have a child, and she has a really sad story. So yeah, she dresses in black a lot. As you saw in Create a Sim, most of her outfits I gave her were black just because I imagined her, you know, mourning and whatnot. But anyways, we'll get back to her house in a little bit, but right now I want to go ahead and go through some of her like skills and stuff, because I tried to show that off, I guess, in her house, kind of give her an opportunity to do some of these skills, if that makes sense. In her bedroom, once we get there, obviously, her bedroom was huge, and I cannot stand huge bedrooms like that. It's intimidating. It's so hard to make the space look good because it's big, and it's either going to look too cluttered or empty. So I ended up giving her like a little office area attached to her bedroom. It has like a little awning, so it's not like a separate bedroom, it's just like a little, you know, awning into it. And she has a painting skill, and as you'll see throughout her house, when we go to the interior, she loves the arts. Her house is very modern. She has a lot of paintings, and it's a very glamorous house, but she loves the art, and she likes to paint. So she has a high painting skill. So I wanted to give her, you know, an area where she can do that, because she didn't have that in her house in The Sims 3, which was kind of strange to me. So I made sure I gave her that little area. And she also has a pretty good cooking skill. So, you know, she was a little wifey material, you know. She knew how to cook. She was going to be a great wife, a great mom. It is really sad, but I think that's pretty much her notable skills. And in The Sims 3, she often had the wish to join the medical career because she has the bookworm trait. But she is unemployed. So, I mean, you know, you could take her whatever route you want to, but, you know, her and her late husband obviously had a lot of money, so she is pretty much well off. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about her in the previous generations of The Sims, because like in The Sims 2 and The Sims 1, she's a little bit older, and that is the Miss Crumplebottom that most of us are familiar with, just because Sims 2 and original Sims 1 was like the OG Sims for most of us. So it has been revealed that she is the Miss Crumplebottom in The Sims Hot Date. And although many players think so, she is not the Miss Crumplebottom in The Sims 2 Nightlife. So, that's confusing, but in Sims original Hot Date, yeah, okay, it's MISS Crumplebottom, which would imply that she's, well, no, it would imply that she's not married. I don't know. This is really confusing. See, this is why I should probably do my research before I try to do these voiceovers, but you know, I'm just trying to get it all done, so you bear with me. Okay, I took a second and I reread that, and I can't, pregnancy brain, I don't even know what I'm reading, I don't even know what I'm saying half the time, but okay. She is the Miss Crumplebottom in The Sims Hot Date. So she is the Miss Crumplebottom in the original Sims, okay? And although many people don't think so, wait, no. Okay, wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. Okay, wait, I was right the first time. It has been revealed that she is the Miss Crumplebottom in The Sims Hot Date, and although many players think so, she is not the Miss Crumplebottom in The Sims 2 Nightlife. Okay, anyways, we're talking about her in The Sims original, okay? This is what we're talking about right now, okay? In her life, at this time in The Sims 1, Agnes's emotional pain from her husband's death has caught up to her, and she had transformed into the dreaded Miss Crumplebottom. And because of her distaste for romance, she has a very old-fashioned, stern, and strict woman who appears to abide by moral code from the Victorian era. For example, she detests when two Sims have any romantic interactions in public. When she sees any of these reactions or actions taking place on a community lot, she will promptly scold the Sims, smack them, or beat them with her purse, which is why she's so iconic, because, you know, if you had your Sims on a date or something and they were like, you know, kissing or something, she'd come over and like smack them, and it was so funny. But whenever Agnes enters a community lot, she doesn't just sit around waiting to smack someone. She's usually playing chess, but if someone joins her, she will sometimes leave. She's not a very friendly Sim. She also likes to dance on the dance floor. You can see her ordering ice cream, nagging people, looking around the room, resting her head on a recliner, and playing the piano. So yeah, as an NPC in the Sims original Sims Hot Date, right? She is very glitchy. So contradicting her hatred of romance, she is sometimes a date to other neighborhood Sims and townies, which is interesting. She also washes her hands unusually due to the fact that she always holds her purse. So she always has a little purse in her hand. She wears a long straight dress with a button-up overcoat, pearl earrings, pearl necklace, a pillbox hat with a small flowered pattern pin, a tight bun, and her large dark purse. Her dress is gray, unlike Mrs. Crumplebottom's dress, which is tan and cream, which I'm assuming the Miss Crumplebottom they're talking about here is the one from The Sims 2. Her hair is gray and is always tied in a very tight bun. So, yeah, so in The Sims 2, she is deceased. Okay. So apparently she appears in The Sims 2 Nightlife, but it's not the same Miss Crumplebottom that we're talking about. So in The Sims 2, she is deceased and buried in the goth graveyard. Okay, see, I'm sorry. I hope this makes sense to y'all now that we're coming full circle back to The Sims 2. So she is deceased and buried in the goth graveyard. That's where she can be found. It seems that when she died, her outfit was completely different. She had a much different hat and an almost happy face, although it would appear that the old prude's reign of terror usually ended when she was laid to rest. A position was picked up by Mrs. Crumplebottom, a distant relative. Okay, so it makes sense now. See, I should have read ahead so I wouldn't have confused y'all just a second ago, but alright, so Miss Crumplebottom is in The Sims 2, but she's dead, and her grumpy little ill-mannered, strict position was picked up by Mrs. Crumplebottom, which is a distant relative. So she bears a small resemblance to Veronaville's Julia Pantalone, as she has the same unused hairstyle and same black widow dress. And according to Sim PE, her hair was black before it turned gray, meaning that she dyed her hair blonde in The Sims 3, which is interesting to note because that kind of makes sense because Cornelia, her sister's hair, is black. So obviously she has dyed her hair this pretty blonde in The Sims 3. So yeah, that's a little bit about Agnes. That was a lot about Agnes actually, but she's interesting. She's iconic, so it's okay that we talk about her. And I'm so out of breath. I don't know. I think this is something to do with like pregnancy. Like I'm not even like I'm starting to show now a little bit. I'm not huge at all. I mean I'm 12 weeks, but I'm out of breath all the time. Like every time I talk, I get out of breath, so bear with me. So anyways, as you can see, moving on, we are furnishing her house, and it's the same floor plan, like I said, for the most part, but it was a lot of empty space, and so I tried to make it a little bit more full, a little bit more lived in, a little bit more luxurious. Now, she obviously is very wealthy, while she's very bitter and very lonely. She's very lonely. She's very lonely. I gave her the loner trait, so she probably won't have a lot of like people over and a lot of friends. I don't really imagine her being that type of sim, but I wanted to give her house the feel as if she has money, she has a lot of opportunity and a lot of, you know, material things to entertain people, which is why I gave her, you know, the big seating area. I did not give her a TV just because I didn't really know where to put it, and I don't imagine her being the type to, you know, really watch TV. Imagine her, like I said, painting or rather playing the piano or doing something like that. But she does have a computer upstairs with her painting stuff, so she's not like a technophobe or anything like that, but she just doesn't really entertain herself with TV very much. And I gave her that big open bar area over there because it was just a very awkward extension to the house right there, and I had no idea what to do with it. Like I said, in The Sims 3, it was just very open, very plain, and I just did not like it, which is probably why I didn't really play much with her, just because back then I wasn't into renovating or building. I would just hop in and I mostly played with townies. I just hopped around and played with townies, or, you know, I would just make my own families and move them into the empty houses in the neighborhoods because I wasn't, like I said, into building or anything. So, yeah, I definitely could have given her house a makeover, but I didn't. But I think I did it justice in The Sims 4. So I hope you guys can agree with me. I tried, like I said, to make it very luxurious and whatnot, but yeah, it's huge. And like I said, you can probably fit more than 2 bedrooms, but you know, there's really no point because her whole story is that she's bitter and lonely, and she, obviously, we know in The Sims 1 and The Sims 2, which is after The Sims 3, and timeline sense, so confusing, I know, right? But we know that she doesn't remarry, and she just turns into a very grumpy old lady. So, I mean, I don't know, if you wanted to play her in The Sims 4, which I think can be really fun, so if you want to download her, feel free to do so. Her and her house is available for download on the gallery. I mean, you could stick true to her story and just have her follow that storyline of just, you know, dating around or trying to date but not being able to let go of her husband, which is something probably that I would do because I would try to stay as true to her original storyline as I could, just because, I mean, that's just how I am. Or, you know, you could completely change it and give her a fresh start. You know, she meets somebody and she falls for him, and you know, she finally has the child and the family she's always wanted, and she's able to let go. That'd be really cool. If you have ever recreated Agnes in The Sims 4 or in The Sims 3 even, if you played her and had her move on and had the family that she's always dreamed of, let me know. I'm really interested to know. I think it's really cool to hear how you guys played The Sims 3 and what storyline y'all followed, because I love The Sims 3, I love The Sims, I love their stories, and if I've played The Sims 9 times out of 10 in these recreations, I kind of share with you what I did, you know, in their household, and you know, yeah, I just would be very interested to hear what you guys used to do with Agnes, or, you know, what you would be interested in doing if you was to play her in The Sims 4. But now I am doing her kitchen, which I think turned out really, really nice. It's very modern, it's very big. I didn't clutter it up a lot because I imagine that her house would be very well kept. I imagine that she would have a maid coming and cleaning. Just because, I mean, I don't imagine her house would ever be filthy because it's just her living there, but, you know, she has the money and she has the means to do so, so I can definitely see her, you know, doing something like that, having a maid. You know, like I said, if you want, that's something I've never really done. Played with a butler in The Sims 4, but that, I mean, these wealthy households like this, I mean, it would make sense for her to have a butler, you know? Or a maid. I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe she's just such a loner that she wouldn't have a maid or a butler because she doesn't really want to deal with people. She just wants to mourn her husband. I don't know. You know, that's the possibility of The Sims and why I love it so much, because like I said, there are so many possibilities, so many different routes and stories to take that makes it really fun and entertaining. And this dining room right here is freaking huge. And I was kind of stressing out about this room. Probably the dining room and her bedroom was the 2 rooms that I was like, okay, what am I going to do with all this space? But for the bedroom, it was kind of easy. Like I said, I just added that little extension on and gave her a little painting area. But for the dining room, I really liked how in the original house she had the little bookshelf. But the only thing is there was nothing that matched except that particular bookshelf, because it's like very modern. I think we definitely need more modern bookshelves. I know there are the little short bookshelves that are more modern looking, but I'm talking about tall. And I think it kind of looks a little bit awkward because it's the same swatch, the same books, and it just looks so repetitive and perfect. But if you don't look at that too hard, ultimately I think it turned out really nice. And then upstairs I did add on a laundry room because that's something that I do try to do, because I personally think laundry in The Sims is realistic, and I love it in The Sims 4 because it's not as annoying as it was in The Sims 3. Oh my god, laundry in The Sims 3 was terrible. I mean, it didn't matter. Okay, you had to have a little laundry basket in every single freaking room. Or else if you was in the living room and your sim changed out of their outerwear, guess what? It wouldn't go to the nearest laundry basket. It would go on the floor, which is really annoying. So I think they did a really good job at making it more efficient and better in The Sims 4. But yeah, like y'all have seen, I have been adding that on. And see, there is a little extension for her bedroom that I was talking about, and like I said, I used a ton of the Get Famous furniture because it was just very fancy, and I don't know, I just wanted to, you know, make her glamorous. You know, she's this beautiful young sim. Like, I think so many of us relate Agnes Crumplebottom to Mrs. Crumplebottom from The Sims 1, you know, who walked around and like hit your Sims, and The Sims 2, obviously she was dead, but you know, we know her personality was picked up and her position by a distant relative. But anyways, we relate her to that just rude old lady. But she was young at one time, and it took, you know, a lot of heartbreak and a lot of, you know, her having a hard time letting go to lead up to that point. So I don't know, I just imagined her, you know, being young and wealthy, and I just wanted to make her, you know, look a little bit more glamorous and, you know, materialistic. So that's why her bedroom is so nice. I gave her a little makeup area over there. Now, don't get me wrong, the bedroom is still really freaking big. I mean, really big. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to clutter it up too much because it just stresses me out. I can't stand it. So I was trying to put some paintings on the wall, and I gave her you know, the fancy closet and a little shoe rack, and then, like I said, over here I gave her a little painting area and a little desk area for her to, you know, spend some alone time by herself, since, you know, she is a loner. And her master bathroom turned out really nice as well. And then the only other room that I have yet to furnish is the nursery, which in The Sims 3 it was unfinished, so she had like a few items in there, but you know, obviously she didn't even get back from her honeymoon before her husband died, so she probably wasn't really trying for a child yet at the time. But they had maybe already invested in possibly, I don't know, a crib and stuff. I know, for example, my boyfriend's mom already has, you know, a little cradle and a high chair that she is whitewashing and repainting, and everything has been passed down in their family. It's super cute, but it's like wooden and old, so possibly it's something like that maybe was passed down by one of their parents, so they brought it to their house to put in their nursery. But unfortunately, we know that she never got to have children, which is really sad. I mean, I'm serious, y'all. She has a really sad story. She's an interesting sim, and I really think you guys need to play with her. You guys need to do your research on Miss Agnes, okay? She won't disappoint you. And here is the nursery, which is very awkward shaped, like I said. I just put, you know, a little cradle in there. I put like a high chair and a few toys. It's pretty much empty because, you know, like I said, it was something that they put a lot of thought into. So I kind of wanted to portray that. So it's very bare, very empty. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the house, you guys. You're going to see me furnish the outside, which, you know, her freaking yard is huge. And I was considering putting a pool there, but I wanted to keep it as true to the Sims 3 floor plan as possible, so I didn't do that. But anyways, y'all, this build is wrapping up. Wow, I didn't really struggle that much in this voiceover talking. Like, I didn't ramble about my life. I talked about Agnes and her house the whole time. Pat on the back, girlfriend. But anyways, yeah, so this house is available for download on the gallery, and so is Agnes. She does include custom content, which is not linked, sorry. But, you know, you can give her, you know, a little makeover if you want to suit your CC. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye!